Hey, welcome back, or welcome me back, one of the two. Um, just figured I'd give you a quick update and just let you know what's going on. We have some good videos coming up, and yeah, Andy and I just got back earlier this week from, excuse me, like an 11-day trip. We spent 10 days roughly in Portugal. And we'll have some videos about that as well, some of the things that we saw, and I think we'll just talk about some of our experiences as well. It was a beautiful trip, but that would be the reason why we haven't had many videos, is we were just trying to get so much stuff done in preparation for not being on the homestead for 11 days. And then we got back and things have just been crazy. The garden is going and we're trying to eat and preserve and do all of that, as well as take time with our girls who, thanks to Grandma, watch them, and because they didn't go with us, and we've just been trying to enjoy that. So really quick, we'll just go through and do a quick update on how the garden's doing. But before we get to that, a few changes have been made on the homestead. I probably don't have the video anymore because I needed to clear my phone space out, but we did take our meat chickens in at the end of June. The average dressed weight was about 4 pounds, 3.5 to 4 pounds. They could have lasted one more week based on the type of feeding schedule that we did with them. Which we preferred that feeding schedule. It just means that the Cornish would have done 9 weeks instead of 8 to get to more of a 5-pound weight. But they were beautiful birds, and we're very happy with how they looked, and the processor that we took them to, once again, we're very happy with them. So they're gone. So things, the last few weeks before we left for our trip, were alleviated the stress a little bit as far as that goes. And then about a week before we left, we sold 3 of our laying hens to a coworker of Andy's. They live in a town nearby, and have a permit for 3 laying hens. So they took 2 California whites and a silver laced Wyandotte. All breeds that they've had before, and they are very happy and they are excited. I saw the coop and it is adorable, and this family is just, they're going to take very good care of these laying hens. Quick, we're just going to do a run through of the garden, how things are doing, and what we've taken out and how things have looked. So these are right here are the San Marzanos. You can kind of see the Roma style tomato. They're doing okay. These are the giant garden paste tomatoes. We're pretty excited about them. We'll see how they do. These are all determinant tomatoes, I believe. So they're kind of a one and done situation. Our beans, we literally did, the beans were just coming on before we left, but none of them were even ready to pick. So on Tuesday morning, our oldest daughter and I spent about an hour and a half out here picking all the beans, and yesterday I canned 21 quarts of green beans. I probably had another 3 quarts to do, but I just didn't want to run the pressure canner for 3 more quarts. So we'll just eat those fresh as we go. The Japanese beetles have kind of gotten to the beans, but honestly not too bad. We have an apple tree that they've just devastated, but I'll show you that. And also we had a deer incident. You can't really see, but literally a deer jumped over this fence. It's, what is it, a 5-foot fence? 4.5-foot fence. Ate along our beans, a little bit of our peas, and then our 2 new grape plants. And then 2 of our apple trees they just took the top off of. So I'll show you those. So this is our zesty mesclun mix. Took out a lot of the zesty aspect because it bolted really fast, but this is red Russian kale, I believe. And then the green leaf is still doing fantastic and not bolting. So we're kind of eating that as it goes. And then these are bunching onions, the green ones. They're doing amazing, absolutely amazing. And our regular onions are just not. Most of the ones that you see that are sprouted are ones that we planted from seed, and it's still not very much. These are some peppers that I picked up. So the 4 on the outside are jalapenos, and then this one is called a sweet pepper lemon dream. So we'll see how they do. But I mean, they were like 50 cents on clearance at our local store. So so in this row, these are eggplants that Andy's dad gave to us. These are the biggest eggplant plants I have literally ever seen, I think. And they have lots of flowers. We're waiting to see if we even get eggplants on them, but we'll see how that goes. Our kale, I did not harvest any and freeze any of it before we left, because kale, it turns into, kale turns into a plant. And I mean, look at these leaves. Look at how big these are. It's so good. Our kohlrabis, I harvested 3 of the Cossacks. They are, I mean, that's like half the size what you see on my hand. So today for one of our meals, we're going to have kohlrabi salad. And I could even take a video of that if you guys are interested, just to show you what I put in it. It's fantastic. And before we left, I did freeze some kohlrabi. I did some research and found out you can do that. So we'll see how frozen kohlrabi goes. Some Brussels sprout plants that I picked up at a local farm store on clearance when I got the peppers that are right here. We'll see how they do. I think our season is too short for Brussels sprouts, but we'll see. I mean, they were cheap, so you never know, and we love Brussels sprouts. Also, side note, I picked up a cold on the airplane on the way home, and I'm having a eustachian tube issue with my right ear, so if I'm talking too loud or too soft or anything, sorry. And so our red cabbage, I need to harvest it, but it looks fantastic. And our green cabbage has all been harvested. I started sauerkraut with it yesterday. Our broccoli, we've eaten a bunch, and I haven't froze any because we've eaten it all, which is unfortunate. So we're hoping to get some more broccoli in so we can freeze a bunch. There's nothing like your own grown broccoli frozen. Our youngest daughter knows the difference between store-bought and our frozen stuff. Cauliflower. These are probably the tallest cauliflower plants I've ever seen as well. And we have no heads of cauliflower, so we'll see what happens there. And on to the peas. I mean, do you see all that? We're kind of sad about this. The mildew just took over while we were gone. These are our shell peas. We literally got no shell peas because they weren't ready before we left. And they have, I mean, look at how big these pods are. And they have, on average, 7 to 9 per pod. Our sugar snap peas, we picked as much as we could before we left that was ready and sold it, ate it, gave it away so it didn't go to waste too much, but I mean, that's where it's at. And our snow peas, I think I froze 4 quart bags, freezer quart bags full of snow peas, and there's still a bunch on there. We were astonished at the success of the snow peas. And here's our random cucumber. We actually had this, there's a couple cucumbers, you can see it, on this plant. We had one on our salad last night, which was fantastic. So after the peas, we have this row. There's nothing here currently. We are for sure planting more spinach soon. And we're trying to figure out if we're going to put anything else in this row. Probably do the spinach on this side since it was over there before. And here's where I replanted the broccoli. We have one broccoli plant left out of all the broccoli that I planted there. And I think I put 2 to 3 seeds in each one. I'm not sure what happened, but... And our carrots are probably ready to harvest. I'll show you something. So I pulled this one last night. It's a bad example, but at least it's not the size of my pinky fingernail. So that's a positive. Our red night peppers are doing fantastic. Let me see if I can show you some of these. These peppers are huge. There's a good one. And look at this. Okay, sorry. Here's my hand next to it. These things are just, and they're so good, green or red. Excuse me. So our Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, we just clipped and tied them up last night, so they might look a little tired, if you will, but look at how many are just along here, and we've eaten a bunch of these already. Our girls just love to eat them, even our younger one. We cut these in like quarters, and she'll just pop them in her mouth, and she loves them. So here are Better Boys and Celebrities. So the Better Boys have a disease of some sort. We clipped so many leaves off of the Better Boys that were diseased last night, and from our experience so far, the Better Boys provide the disease. Celebrities, which are down here further, are really susceptible to disease, which probably wasn't a good idea to plant Better Boys next to Celebrities, but that's what we did, and that's what we're rolling with this year. So and here's our early girl tomatoes. We're happy with how many tomatoes are on here. I'll be picking these tomatoes and letting them sit, and probably starting to can tomato sauce tomorrow. I should say that's an upper garden update. I'll go show you the vine garden now. So one thing that we have been talking about is kind of making a hard decision about letting this garden rest next year. It's a big garden and it will be a huge sacrifice, but there's so much disease, or not disease, but there's so much, the soil is so depleted. It needs, it really needs a year of rest. So here's the vine garden. Look at that. This is pumpkin. There's our sweet corn. Very happy with how that's doing. So let's see if we can find. So this is one of the smaller pumpkins. Here's a bigger one. That's about the size of a basketball. Here's a watermelon plant with a baby watermelon. There's probably 4 or 5 watermelons on this plant. There's some over here as well. We have a cucumber plant here. And as you can see, the deer have just munched along here. But what's surprising to us is how many blossoms are right here where the deer ate off. We have a couple of varieties of cucumbers through here. But I hope you guys have a good day and a good week, and we will see you around. See you later, guys. Bye.